Hello, friends and YouTube family. We ring in the new year. I have 23 things to know about real estate in 2023. There are 23 factors that could make you a lot of money, but some of them also could cost you a lot of money if you don't know about them. So in this video, I'll just give you the rundown in insights of what could influence the real estate prices this year besides interest rates. Hello, my name is Lenska Realty, and I'm a real estate broker and also do ADU consulting and feasibility studies, and I have a bunch of educational events. And if it comes to ADUs, I represent Crest Backyard Homes with their line of manufactured homes. We have 23 factors, so let's go. I try to get it under 23 minutes. Number one, real estate moves at snail's pace. It's supposed to be not as liquid and fast moving as stocks. How did stocks perform in 2022? It was the worst performance since 1930, especially when you had a portfolio that was based on 60% stocks and 40% bonds. Now looking at real estate, obviously then the stock market, we had increased 250,000 in 6 years, but don't forget, the worst decline ever actually happened from May to probably September, October. We had a 12% price drop in 4 months. So that real estate moves like a snail or glacier is a little understated. So I want everybody to know that it can decline very quickly. And where else did we had a quick decline in 2 years? We went down from 400,000 or 500,000 peak of 2005 and 6 down bottom in 2009 and 12 down to 300,000. And it took us like nearly 10 years, and depending on what zip code and area you were in, took us nearly 10 years to get back to 500,000. Now, 100 years in the making, just the comparison always between the stock market and real estate market, there is a ratio, and you can see that the bubbles, the stock bubbles of 1929 and 1999, and when you look at the end of the spectrum here, you really can see the volatility of the ratio of the S&P 500 to the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Number 2, the iBuyer model is unsustainable. Look at Open Door Technologies' stock price. It was the darling during the COVID crisis. Now the stock is not even worth $6. Redfin is shuttering its iBuying arm, Redfin Now, in November, and Open Door, the largest iBuyer, announced $1 billion in losses in the 3rd quarter alone. Profits over promises, the iBuy model is floundering, and long live the local investor. So here's your chance to fill the void. And I know the local investors I deal with, they keep their promises, they keep their closing dates, and they can come up with the cash to close very quickly. Number 3, rents will rise in 2023. Are you sure? Rents already on a national level begin to decline. According to Altus research, rents begin to declined to about 2,200, and that is the median rent houses, and the median apartment is at 1,775. And so since October, we have seen this little dip already. So, and rents in San Diego decreased 1.4 months over months in December, compared to a 0.8 decrease nationally. So months over months growth in San Diego ranks at about the number 22 sharpest decline amongst the nation's 100 largest cities. So year-over-year rent growth in San Diego currently stands at 4.6%, and median rents in San Diego currently stand at about 1,921 for one-bedroom apartment and 2,486 for a two-bedroom. And another way to look at it, it's maybe a little bit more clear that the year-over-year change in prices by various, whether by Zillow, and I think Zillow is pretty good because they have a really good for rent platform, and you can see that at the end of the year, the owner's equivalent of residences, that's what is in the CPI, was actually declining, but the apartment list and all the other platforms actually showed all a decrease. Number 4, tenant protections 2.0, and give the video a like, please. Don't forget to subscribe. It's not that when you give the like button that you like tenant protection 2.0. Rent control largely failed in 2022, but expect to reemerge in 2023. Where rent control has not gotten traction yet: Colorado, Florida, Illinois, Hawaii, South Carolina, Kentucky, Washington, Nevada, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Michigan, New Mexico, Rhode Island, and North Carolina. For more info, you can always go to the National Multifamily Housing Council. And number 5, we have baby boomers, not millennials or Gen Zs, are sustaining the U.S. housing market. And baby boomers are considered 1946 to 1964. And I want to stay a little bit on that chart here for a second, because that circle right now is people living alone. For the first time ever, there are more occupied housing units with people living alone than with children under 18. So the obvious issue is here that the baby boomers, the oldest of whom is now 76, is pretty much begin to enter nursing home and pass away over the next decade. So leaving a large swath of housing inventory vacant. Hopefully, this is hopefully where our inventory is maybe coming from. But there's another issue at hand, and that has to do with the composition of households. More and more people are living alone. In fact, 38 million housing units are now occupied by only one person. This is close to double the level of the early 1980s. So closely tracking the growth rate in senior households. At the other end of the spectrum are housing units with children. Today, there are only 34 million housing units with a child under 18, which is now lower than the number living alone. So concerning as a long-term trend and demand, and hinting to demand fundamentals are changing. So they are changing. So where is the demand? So the demand is amongst under affordable housing or ADUs, where families actually generational living is happening in one property or even in one house. So if you're a rehabber, so maybe concentrate on smaller units. Number 6, the Airbnb bubble, I call it. So just check out that cartoon about the Airbnb. But I think the times are over where the Airbnb landlord can ask the tenants to check out 7 a.m. and clean the house and walk the dog and happily ever after, because currently we have the most listed homes on Airbnb in the last 2 or 3 years through COVID. They actually 40% increase in listings, and also a lot of homes have been purchased at second homes or vacation rentals. So plus all this, you will see an increased competition, because a new program actually helps people to find apartments where they can host an Airbnb part-time. So Airbnb friendly apartments unlock practically the economic benefit of hosting to help renters cover the rising cost of living. Okay, so cities can help renters better afford where they live by supporting Airbnb friendly apartments and embracing policies that allow renters to share their space. Number 7, buyer's commission disclosure. This is not just for real estate agents, it's also for if you're a buyer or if you're a seller or if you're an investor. So on the heels of an ongoing antitrust probe by the Department of Justice into the sales practices of the Association of Realtors, is releasing next week an updated real estate purchase agreement that could upend how home buyers agent is paid their commission. So there will be a disclosure. So right now there was no way of anybody to disclose how much the real estate agent who's representing the buyer is making, right? And sometimes they also want to counteract the advertising of a buyer's agent say, oh, I'm offering my services for free because the seller is paying the commission to the buyer's agent. So there's not a lot of clear policy around that, so that will be remedied. Number 8 is mansion tax coming to a city near you. So what does it all mean? Selling a property for over $5 million in Los Angeles will cost more because a $10 million property used to cost $56,000 to transfer as an transfer document tax. So starting April 2023, the same $10 million transfer will be taxed at $606,000, more than a 10-fold increase. A commercial deal in LA will trigger the tax on very small square footage, affecting many occupants who own their buildings and choose to sell. So I assume instead of increasing the property tax, that was one of another idea how to tax real estate more. Number 9, new Facebook's listing policy is very confusing. So Meta, which once again changed the rules of engagement for one of its most popular features on Facebook, which is Marketplace, so users will no longer be able to share property listings on Facebook's Marketplace with their business profile. So don't be mad at the agents, real estate agents, if they don't advertise your property on Facebook, because it has been changed. So however, they said that the real estate agents can still share their listings on Facebook Marketplace through their personal profile. But Facebook hasn't provided an exact explanation for the shift and did not immediately respond. So probably stay tuned. Number 10 through 13, new year, new ADU rules. Please don't forget to like the video or even subscribe. So you guys know ADUs are accessory dwelling units. There is AB 2221, SB 897, and AB 916. So I will have a separate video on that, but just in summary, the heights restrictions are going to be relaxed. The 60-day application deadline is clarified. Unpermitted work on property is addressed and should not stand in the way of the processing of your ADU application. It's a big one. Front setback can't be in the way for an ADU at least 800 square, the biggest size of 800 square feet. There's also some new ruling about a garage demo permit. Okay, fires, sometimes a permit triggered fire sprinklers for the main house. That has been explained, and then also some parking rules have been relaxed, but mainly it has to do with being close to public transportation. Okay, and the AB 916 is the bonus that is converting square footage into bedroom, and it's not only specific to ADU. So this will be a big one for investors, as they can immediately change a bedroom count in their properties. Okay, also if you're a homeowner and you have that den that is just stuffed full of boxes, make it a bedroom and increase your property value. Number 14 through 15, landlord tenant must know this. Okay, it's reusable tenant screening reports and domestic violence. So there is a new law out there that landlords that accept the reusable tenant screening reports can charge a fee for the report or an application screening fee. Now the big one is the protection for victims and the perpetrators. So the new thing is that there are heavy fines if you do not let a tenant cancel their lease due to domestic violence, and the needed partial eviction order is needed against the perpetrator. 16 through 20, wait, there is more. So there is still the first look programs on REOs, 30 days, especially when it comes to FHA. The AB 2011 is residential housing may be built within an office or retail zone by ministerial approval. In lieu with that is also SB 6, the state law that state will finally give developers the flexibility to build residential homes in an underutilized commercial zones. What I did not list here is, but I think it was part last year's, that churches now, their application for putting multifamily units on their church property is also made easier. Then we got SB 197, that about 45% of the funds previously allocated to rental housing programs now will be allocated to facilitate home ownerships in, I believe, with down payment assistance, etc., etc. And then Prop 19, the first property tax for taxpayers claiming Prop 19 benefits during processing time by the county. So you're just buying some time while they figure out what your new tax liability is. And then we have 21 through 23. We got AB 1410, a homeowner's right to rent a portion of the unit if that property is regulated by an HOA. Also SB 1076, a certified person must be on site for any lead renovation, repair, or painting work. Investors, please pay attention to that. That could get very costly if not done properly. Okay, SB 1157, it's starting. Hard to believe, urban water use objectives are tightened. One comment to make about the water use here. I believe that future development and maybe the development impact fees for ADUs will be raised, or at least probably will be water meter prices will increase. So if you're on the brink of should I go and do this ADU or build that house, I would say quickly before more water restrictions are getting in place. With that, if you still haven't learned enough, visit one of my educational events, a real estate investing field trip. It takes us out to properties to analyze them for maximum profits, or meet us also online, San Diego Real Estate Profit Building, where we have meeting and discuss how to best increase your real estate portfolio, and so you become a real estate mogul. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being fans. And don't forget to subscribe and also give it 2 thumbs up. Yay, I made it under 23 minutes.